Today is the 30th of October 2020. Will Berlinghoff is the voice of cosmic awareness, and Callista is energizer and questioner. Awareness, do you have a public message for us at this time, please?
That this awareness does have a public message at this time. That this awareness would say that you stand at the very threshold of a most monumentous occasion, that the American elections on the 3rd of November are of a nature that it will represent a turning point for all of humanity, not just America. But as America is the tip of the spear, is that laser point that is focusing, indeed marshaling attention to an event of great magnitude for the world, that it is natural enough that the world itself is waiting to see what will happen. Of course, many think that this event is not one that has been influenced or is being influenced by forces much greater than that which is simply the public. It is indeed so that energies of a divine nature are also playing a role at this time, for there is a destination that is there ahead of humanity itself that is of a critical nature when it comes to the freeing of humanity itself. The destruction finally, at least the beginnings of the destructions finally, of that which is known as deep state. The Democratic Party are ones who are supporting deep state, are playing their role. But unfortunately for them, their plan of action is that which is old-fashioned. The playbook that they have been using is the playbook they are using again. And this will fail them. It is seen that as this is a turning point for humanity, that the results of the election will be such that humanity will veer away finally from that which has been an enslavement of humanity, not for decades, not for centuries, but literally for thousands of years. And now you stand at the very threshold of that which is the turning point, that which will alter everything forever. However, having said this awareness puts to each individual the responsibility in their lives to focus on what they want, what you want. Why this is of importance is that although it is not yet understood or perceived, each and every individual is responsible for the formation of the reality of their experience. Therefore, when humanity does not understand this to be so, it can be manipulated. It can be worked, so to speak, to favor that which is the intention of certain dark ones who have for so long been able to marshal the affairs of humanity in the direction that this elite group wishes to go. It does depend on ignorance on the part of humanity and on the part of all humans, so that they believe the reality of their experience lies outside of themselves. But this awareness says to each and every individual, you are the turning point. And what is of greatest importance at this time, when you approach this null point, this shift that will alter forever the destination and destiny of humanity, that you, the individual, practice that art of manifestation in terms of what you wish to have as your reality and your experience. The political forces have been hard at it for many months, even years now. And here you stand at that very critical time, that threshold point. And as you look into your life, project forward what you want to be your experience. If you wish to deny that you have any power in this way, then simply allow things to be manipulated by the propaganda of ones who have a hidden agenda. This, of course, would mean that your assumption of reality is that you have no control over the events, no control over your life, and that the events outside of yourself are that which marshal for you your experience. But this awareness says that it is actually the opposite, that each individual from that point of their own point of view, their own perspective of reality, have the capability of focusing into the future so that which you wish to be can be. Hold that the results of this election will see the demise of those dark cabal forces, those who serve this force of darkness. You are the one who can project forward into your reality what your experience will be. And while it seems that this is outside of yourself, it truly is not. Therefore, this experience of this election and the results of this election lie squarely in your own hands. And as you grasp this, as you hold this truth, then use it to see into the future, to imagine into the future. And if in that imagining you see that Donald Trump leads that group that are here to help shatter the grip that the dark ones have held on humanity for so long, as you see this and hold this to be true, and that you are no longer willing to be part or party to this, then you, the individual, can manifest for yourself the reality that is your wish, that being a demise of the power group that has for so long held humanity by the throat. This is indeed a major shifting point, and there are energies that are coinciding at this time. For example, on the 31st of October, that which you would call Halloween, that this is a time where the dimensional barriers are at their thinnest, where that which is called the veil is at its thinnest. There are effective energies that are coming from those dimensional levels beyond third dimensionality that are also partaking in this event and are coinciding with you, the individual, to initiate this most monumental of changes, this magnitude of experience that is ready to finally accept responsibility for itself in terms of the human collective. But it must start somewhere, and that starting point, as already expressed, is the null point, is that point of a focus into the future that is alternative to that which those in power would have be. Their grip has not only shifted, it has been released. And they, the dark ones, are the ones who least see this, for they trust and believe still that they will have power over the masses, and through their propaganda, that they will create the situation where so many will believe their lies that they will win through. But as already said, this is the old plan, the old playbook. That which is seen ahead is quite different in terms of that which the dark ones would have be so. and it is because of an awakening that is currently taking place. Indeed, the Great Awakening that even Donald Trump has spoken of, for he does know where things are going. He has been guided in his actions at all points from those dimensional entities and beings that are very much partaking in this mass event, as well as that which you could say is the ET factor. Of course, many would reject this as being so, and this awareness returns back to its original message to each and every individual, that it is your responsibility and also that which is your capacity as a creator being, as a spiritual being, to look at it all so very differently than you have ever looked at it before. And even though others may have an agenda, a plan of action that they hope will manifest, this awareness assures you that it is not so, for too many energies are now involved in creating this turning point, this moment of pure consciousness and the awakening in this moment that are very necessary and indeed very relevant to these times. So as you approach this monumental moment in history, remember that you are part of the history, that you have come here as spiritual beings to partake in these times and indeed in this occasion of the revelation of the truth of spirit itself. That which you are part of is part of the Great Awakening. You are the Great Awakening. Look forward into your future. Determine what you want to have as your future. Which government do you want? Which party do you want? If you doubt this and you do not find that capacity within you, at least then release events so that they can manifest in accordance to divine source's will on this matter. For divine source itself is very involved in these proceedings and in this great awakening. This is the most glorious of times to be awake or to wake up to. And as the day approaches, do not pay much attention to the lies and disclaimers that the ones of the dark are putting out. Hold rather that the light is coming through the darkness. Illumination is lighting it all up, is lighting you up. Let Source be your guide. Let your own deep intuition and instinct also be part of the guidance as you move forward into that bright future that awaits. That this concludes the public message at this time.